Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina and welcome back to another Stampin' on Friday episode. Today we're going to be making a bookmark and I'm going to be using this Hero Arts Studio Calico stamp set called I Love Books. And I'm also going to be using some paper from my Authentique Loyal paper pad, which I've used before. I'm making a bookmark for my husband and this seems to always be my go-to paper collection for making masculine type cards or stuff like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I pulled out a piece of Tim Holtz grunge paper it's actually grunge board for my bookmark. It measures 2 inches by 6 inches, and on the back of it, because I'm not going to do anything on the back, what I did was I just took some distress ink. This is frayed burlap, and just inked the whole back going right from the pad onto the grunge paper. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting the front of my bookmark put together. I'm going to be adding some of the pattern paper from the Loyal paper collection and just using some quick dry adhesive, and I'm going to try to get as close to the edges as I can without getting too close where I know the glue is going to spill over. And I'm going to put my pattern paper right on the front. So I cut this a little bit bigger than my piece of grunge, and I'll just trim it off. This way I know that it'll fit. And exactly lined up there, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it lined up. Get some adhesive on my mat here. And then I'll take my scissors and just trim that down. Okay, while the glue is drying on this, I'm going to go ahead and do some of my stamping. I'm going to use this stamp set, like I said, that's I Love Books, and I'm going to use this Every Book is an Adventure. And I just have a piece of scrap paper over here of the same pattern paper. This one has less printing on it. It's from the other side of the paper, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp the I Love Books in this Ranger Archival ink. It's jet black. I like this because it stamps nice and crisp black. So I'm just going to stamp that right on here. And this is a old Stampin' Up! Punch that I have, and I'm just going to go ahead and punch out the Every Book is an Adventure. And then I'm going to take my frayed burlap and just ink the edges. Alright, so I'll set that aside. I've got a little bit more stamping I need to do, but before I do that, I'm going to pull out a couple pieces of the pattern paper. These are some scraps that I had around, and I'm going to punch these a couple different size circles. This is a 1-inch circle, so I'll have 2 of the blue, and then I'll do a couple in the green. This is a 1 1/4 inch. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to need, and then maybe 1 or 2 in the green in the 1 inch. And then again, I'm going to use the 1 1/4 in this blue color. I'll do 2 of those and 2 more in the 1 inch. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is kind of lay out my pattern, and I think I'm going to take this blue one. I have a 1 1/2 inch circle. I think I'm going to use that as well. I'm just going to use one of those. This is going to go, let's see, I'm just going to lay out a little pattern here. No particular order or anything special. Let's see. Some of it's going to hang off the edges. So it'll go like that. And then I'll add some down here to the bottom. I'm I'm going to also punch out another 1.5 inch in the green. Put this one down here. Add a little blue one. Let's see. And maybe another little blue one or light blue here. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and ink all of the edges of these using the frayed burlap. So I'll be right back. Alright, I went ahead and inked all my little circles with the frayed burlap, so I'm going to go ahead and start adhering my little circles down, again using the quick dry. And I'm going right to, I'm not doing any dimensionals or popping these up at all because I don't want this to be too thick because it is, again, it is a bookmark. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering these all down. I'll probably speed this up a little bit so it doesn't get boring for you. Alright, so I have all of my pieces glued down, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and stamp my next image, and I'm just going to use this one right here. Put that right onto my block. Again, I'm using the Ranger Archival ink. Ink that up really good. We'll go ahead and stamp that right in the center of my bookmark. And now that some of this glue has dried on these circles, I'm just going to go ahead and turn that over, and then again using my scissors, I'm going to cut off the edges. Okay, so there's my bookmark all trimmed up. I'm going to go ahead and do some frayed burlap now around the entire bookmark. And I'm just using my foam applicator to do that. Okay, so there we go. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to add a little brad or eyelet up at the top of the bookmark. So I'm just going to take my crocodile, and in the center at the top I'm just going to go ahead and punch using the 3/16 inch side. Punch out my section there, and then I have some We Are Memory Keepers grommets, and I'm just going to use some of these. I keep mine in these little lock and storage containers that you can get at Joann's, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick my grommet in. Give it a good squeeze there to set the grommet. And then the last thing I need to do is just add my Every Book is an Adventure. And that's going to go right down here at the bottom. Normally I would go ahead and add a little chain or something at the top, but every time I make Scott a bookmark, he seems to always break the chain off, so I'm not even going to bother putting it on this time. But you can use like maybe one of those Tim Holtz chains and put a little the chain on here and just hang something off of there, but I'm just going to leave mine like this. And that is our project for today. Thanks for watching another episode, and I will see you next time.